I'd like to call this meeting to order at 18:30 hours. Recognition of public is Kathy Clark and Ian Keel from BCTV. I want to point out that the rules of procedure is on the table if anyone wants to look at it or read it. There is one new addition to the meeting tonight, and that is the boot drop request from Donald Spencer from Ruck. And he is running a little late, so that will take us right into the changes of the agenda order. Next, approval of the minutes for March 14th, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And the motion has been approved. Next item is old business, clarifying dog officer duties, questions from the 3/14/16 meeting.
Can I have a few minutes of that?
Sure, I was just going to say that, just as for people watching and for us as well, that we did do some research, that the dog officer duties do not include, shooting dogs from a legal perspective. So the dog officer legally can't shoot the dog, okay? The select board's never condoned shooting of dogs. We looked up what had happened in the past. And any dogs that had had any incidents were dealt with in accordance with the proper legal processes in the past with respect to the select board and the dog officer. So just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that the select board had been following proper procedures. I think that's it, and I would just.
Okay, now I'm going to make my spiel. There have been 5 instances of serious dog bites in the last few years. One was a family bit within the family took care of it itself, or it was reported to the town. The other 2 were dog biting people. There were 2 of those, and that's where we after 3 bites, that's where the vicious dog comes in, but it doesn't mean if they bite. The caveat to that is if they're on their property and provoked, that the 3rd bite doesn't count. That's not an automatic rule. In other words, if you go on somebody's property and the dog bites you unannounced and the dog bites you, that doesn't count towards that 3 dogs is a vicious dog. We had hearings, we had quasi-judicial on those 2. We followed up on that. The other 2 were, and this is where you're wrong, were dog bites animals, cows, chickens, rabbits, anything like that. At that point, the owner of those animals or the dog officer can destroy the dog. We had 2 cases of that. The first one cost the town $3,000. The second one cost the town $150. We also went quasi-judicial on that, but it was after the fact, not during these events took place in the middle of the night. We would recoup part of the money on the $3,000 one, but and the other part of that is that in 2014 legislature has, most of these dog statutes go back to the 1800s when the Vermont was sheep country. So when you see worrying sheep or all that, we've had to translate it into worrying whatever. But the state of Vermont has now trying to put the onus of recovering money more on the dog owner, not the town. I don't know what the final chapter of that is, but it's not automatic. If my dog kills 10 of your rabbits, the town pays for it. It's more up to me to pay for it rather than the town. That's my side of it.
Yeah.
I've been there, done that. So.
I just think that the bottom line is the dog officer, as it stands, can never shoot a dog, and we
The dog
can't.
officer can shoot a dog if it's worrying animals. Yes, the owner of the animals can, and the dog officer can.
I'm really not. I actually don't think that's legally correct. I can pull the statutes for you and show you, but I really actually don't think that's legally correct. So we can talk about it offline, and if we need to do some more research, that's fine. But as far as I see it, I think we need to just We can pull the actual, we can pull the statute, we
Yeah,
can
can
add
you
it
pull the
to,
statutes on that and let's?
I know when I read the statute, it did, I mean, from what Gabby is saying, that was my understanding in reading what you sent out, if that's the statute that was sent out, so.
I mean, I think we could talk more offline if you wanna look at the statutes and discuss it, but, I mean, it seems to me the statutes are clear. The only time someone can shoot a dog is when it's actually, like, it's like self-defense,
Yes, what
essentially.
I just said,
If
if
it's
a dog,
biting-
if
yeah,
your
if it's
dog comes
attacking
on
you.
my property and starts chewing my rabbits up, I can shoot the dog. Or if a dog happens to be handy, he can shoot the dog also.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that point, so let's do more research and I'll pull the papers for you, okay? And then I just think the other point to take is that dogs do need to be licensed by April 1st. Conveniently, that's this week. We are closed, the town office is closed on Friday, so all dogs need to be licensed by the close of business Thursday, March 31st, okay?
That's important.
All
Is
right.
that the same date it's always been?
Yeah, it's April
So it's
1st.
always April
It's
first.
always-
Happens to hit on.
On a Friday.
All on a Friday,
for
Gordon,
us,
and
thank you.
unfortunately they're closed, so
For the new,
by the close of business on Thursday.
gotcha.
New business, we're gonna skip over. The only thing that is there is for the boot drop request. Is there any discussions or updates?
Just what Gabby said about
You have the dog licenses and stuff like that. Next item on the agenda will be the highway. General update. I spoke with Danny this morning. They are grading the roads, fixing where they need to be fixed and adding gravel. And you'll see that in the warrants, along with the,
Bill.
the bill. So, mud season has, I would like to say, been a little light, so. And he said actually the roads are, some of them's getting pretty tough already, so. But,
The hill was nice.
Especially
yeah,
on this side.
he actually
It's
said
really-
that's just about the worst road that we have in town, is Carpenter Hill Road, and
I did take
So-
it tonight.
excess weight permits. We have a couple
There are
weight
two.
permits.
One
There's
from
two.
Basin Brothers and one from Derek Excavating. They're, they all have the usual restrictions.
Alright, I'll make a motion to grant excess weight permits to Basin Brothers and Durag Excavating with the usual caveats, which is no roads, no dirt roads during mud season and don't go over the covered bridge.
Why
Second,
not?
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Sorry, who's second?
Second?
I did.
No.
Any discussion? None? Seeing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Don't you encourage people to go over that bridge either, Dick.
Next item is finance warrants.
I'll make the motion to pay the following payroll and warrants. Payroll for the week ending in March 21st, 2016, in the amount of $11,154.20. Payroll for the week ending in March 27th, 2016, in the amount of $5,920.01. Expense warrant number 1618 in the amount of $26,924.67, and expense warrant number 18DP in the amount of $49.50, with the condition that we're going to do some further research into payment of a 2014 bill to the Guilford Center Cemetery Association, just to make sure that we're not paying double.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
And I'll just note that one of the big expenditures in this week's expense warrant was an $11,196 bill paid to Sir Sosimo for gravel.
Thank you, Gabby.
Do you want me to cover communications before?
Yes, if we could go ahead and go to communications before we go to,
Sure. every once in a while, Carol Levin, one of our residents, when there's an article in the paper, she'll send a clipping to the town office, and this was the one that she sent on town meeting day. Got a letter from Senior Solutions thanking us for processing their funding request. And the last is a fax from Richard Davis, the dog, health officer. He had a report of an animal bite. A dog, an alleged pit bull mix owned by John Bratton of 407 Bennett Road. It's not a licensed dog. It bit Robert Brownlee of Putney on March 18th at 10:30 p.m. at Mr. Bratton's residence. The dog remained healthy for the quarantine period. The reports, the owner reports that he's going to put the dog down due to repeated episodes of biting. We have no confirmation that that has taken place. There's no further involvement on the town's part since the event took place on private property. So, Penny will keep this report on file if anybody were to come in and question.
Okay, thank you for the communication. I guess I'm gonna jump back up to new business and I'm gonna speak with this and I'm going to ask Dick to help me with this. Donald Spencer is, I need to sign this.
I'm gonna leave it on.
Yep, so I'll leave it right there, I'll sign. Donald Spencer is the president, I believe, of the local chapter of Ruck Up. Ruck Up is a organization for vets, soldiers, so on and so forth. They do great things, helping them possibly find jobs, find housing, helping them get to other, could be some medical, whatever it is. Every year they come and request that they do the drop, and can I have the date on that?
I don't have the
He
date.
doesn't have the date?
It's usually in September.
Yeah, it's right around the Memorial Day weekend, isn't it, Dick?
Labor Day.
Labor Day, I'm sorry.
Labor Day, yeah.
Yeah, and they do it at Center Road and Route 5 right there. And usually one of the things what we ask them to do is just make sure that they have plenty of protective vests on, cones out, so on and so forth. And they've been doing it, well, as long as I've been on the board, and this is going on my 8th year on the board, so. And I think it's a great thing, so.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think it's a great organization. I think they were responsible about it last year. I'm happy to help them out, and I think we're very appreciative that they were able to collect last year, so.
I think it's great.
So I'm gonna be looking, could I get a motion to, do we need a motion on that?
No.
Yeah.
So moved, do I have a second?
Second.
Can I have a motion and a second? Any discussion? Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I'll let you know if I connect with him or if he comes. I
Yeah.
can tell the date at which it will. And it's usually between the hours of 9 and 5 every
Right.
other year, just so you have a little bit more. And he usually communicates with Vermont State Police, the Sheriff's Department,
Fire
Guilford
department, he lets
Volunteer
everybody
Fire,
know about
and
it.
local businesses.
He's an awesome,
Very dedicated.
There was one year that they were blocking access to the store. They rearranged that, so that they're
Yeah.
not doing that anymore. Yeah.
yep, great gentleman he is. With that, is there any need for executive session? Not seeing one. I'll be looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in
For
favor?
Dick to jump in.
Aye.
Aye.